These are the only 8 habits that you are going to need to prioritize in order to be a completely different person by the end of 2026. Be honest, are you a procrastinator? Are you an all or nothing person? When you start something, it has to be perfect from the get-go or else you can't even get started. Welcome back. My name is Marissa. I'm your multi-passionate creative best friend, helping you build your dream life one hobby, habit, and income stream at a time. You can subscribe so you don't miss my next call, and today we are going to be talking about time management and daily habits. So let's get into it. By the end of this video, I want you to be able to reframe how you view time, pick 3 out of these 8 habits, and to start today. I don't care if it's Tuesday at 8 p.m., get up and do 5 minutes of one habit to get started. First up, time management is a skill. You can learn to manage your time better. Maybe you always write to-do lists, but you don't actually get anything done. If you're a procrastinator who loves planning in order to avoid taking action and building habits, honestly, same. I have 2 things for you. I have one time management perspective shift and then one time management tool that you can use to really reframe time. First up, I want you to start writing a done list instead of a to-do list. I want you to put the focus on the things that you've already accomplished instead of what you haven't completed. Because if you're somebody who writes a to-do list every morning or every week and it's like 10, 15 things long and you only get 2 done, you're gonna constantly be disappointed and frustrated with your progress. Because at the end of the night, if you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't get anything done. What's wrong with me? Why can't I do it? I've written it all down. I should just show up and do it. And since that hasn't been working, you have to change what you are doing. The definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. So shift. At the end of the night, write your done list. And I mean write everything you did. I woke up, I showered, I got ready, I gassed up my car, I ate breakfast. Literally everything that you did in the day on your done list. And what this does is it allows you to celebrate everything you're already doing because you're doing a lot. It's just sometimes our brains doesn't recognize that as good or productive or an accomplishment. Some of these things might seem like, well, I obviously do them, so why do I have to write them down? It's to trick your brain into being like, wow, I actually do the things that I say I'm going to do. I've accomplished a lot today, so that you feel confident and excited and rejuvenated to do it all over again tomorrow. Now, the time management tool that literally changed my life in, I think 2023 is when I started doing this, was monotasking, and I used the Pomodoro technique to do this. Pomodoro technique will help you focus on one task for an allotted amount of time. I personally start with 25-minute sessions, a 5-minute break, and then another 25-minute session because 1, my attention span, short. Yeah. And then 2, I know for a fact that once I do that first Pomodoro, I can usually do 2 or 3 more, like a second or a third one, so that I can really focus in on what I'm doing. Or if I complete the task in the first 25 minutes, I get to move on to something else, which also makes me feel very productive. And so you know for a fact that you're going to remove distractions, you're going to set your timer, and you're going to focus on that one habit that you want to get done. Any of the habits that you want to pick up, this tool is your means to complete it with less distractions and more focus. These are the only habits that you are going to need to prioritize in 2026 in order to change your life. I've got 8 of them. Let's get started. Number 1, movement. Do a 10 to 30-minute exercise routine every single day. And when I say workout, it doesn't have to be a high intensity sweat, weightlifting, crazy workout every single day. In fact, I don't recommend that at all. I would do a 30-minute walk one day and then maybe a high intensity workout the next day and then maybe a somatic yoga session the third day. It's all about balance, but prioritizing movement and exercise is going to change your life. I completed my 75 medium challenge in April to June of this year and I lost 30 pounds. I lost 32 pounds because I did another one. I did a summer challenge as well where I just kind of kept my habits going. So it was basically 6 months of these habits that changed my life. Your movement is going to help you improve your mood, your health, and your overall well-being. We all have preconceived notions of exercise and movement. I went to the gym out of just pure self-loathing for about 1.5 years. Going to the gym is very, very difficult for me, which is why I found something that works, which is YouTube workouts at home. The second habit you're gonna start doing is mobility and stretching. So this goes hand in hand with exercise anyways, is that you should be doing a 5-minute stretch before and after just to warm up and then also to take care of your body. But mobility exercises are even that much more important, especially if you sit for a living. Mobility exercises are going to help with a range of motion, stiffness, and the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be. Your hip flexors, your shoulders, your joints, your posture. Posture exercises are crucial because we're all hunched over our desks every single day. And the best part of mobility exercises is that you really only need 5 to 10 minutes to see the benefits. It's just doing them regularly is how you'll see the long-term benefits. Habit number 3 is breath work. So if you want to regulate your nervous system, or if you get really overwhelmed and anxious a lot, breath work is a great tool to have in your well-being toolbox. Because for me, if I get really anxious over, let's say an email came through, or I missed a deadline, or something came up, and I get just in my head overwhelmed, breath work, you can do a 5-minute just breathing for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and you can calm yourself down. I use this every single day in order to really focus my energy, because sometimes we're just overstimulated and you haven't taken a full breath all day, and this will allow me to kind of reset and bring me into the moment and refocus what I was currently doing, or help me transition into a new task. Number 4 is nutritious food. This habit is going to start out by just building your relationship with food as like a friendly best friend that you can just like grow and nurture a relationship with food that is beneficial to your overall well-being. I struggle with emotional eating. Emotional eating can take a big toll on your goals, your progress, and just like your everyday thoughts, because it's all consuming. You're thinking about food at all times. And I struggled with this so much, especially in my 20s. And I don't think I've really got a handle on it probably in the last like 3 years, but I'm much kinder to myself when I think about food or when I choose to eat certain foods, because I know that one meal of just like indulging in something is not going to derail my progress, because I have the other habits in place that I have stuck to for so long now that it just feels like I trust myself. That's the theme of this. Trust yourself to show up. And if you don't trust yourself, ask yourself how. How can you build that trust? Or even dive into what broke the trust. Why do you not trust yourself? And the biggest part here too is getting started with your nutritious food and just trying new recipes is not about being restrictive. I want you to add in. So if you are currently, so you can eat just what you normally are, and then add in fruits, add in veggies, add in a bit more protein, add in more fiber, because eventually as you add those things in, especially fiber, you're going to feel more full and you're not going to snack as much. Also, drinking more water is crucial. Habit number 5 is creative sessions, and this habit genuinely changed my life with creating simply for fun. The entire reason why I started my 75 medium journey in April was because I wanted to take my creativity seriously. I had random projects that I started and stopped. I wasn't really writing anymore, and I wanted to simply set time aside to create. Wherever my energy went, I had to do something creative during that 45 minutes. I crocheted, I wrote poetry, I wrote in my novel, drew, diamond paintings, embroidery, like all of the random crafts that I have here. I just prioritized them during these sessions, and it showed me that I have time for my art. All of those excuses in my head, it's like, I don't have time, yes I do. I had time. I just chose not to pick those things up. Your goal here is to set a lot amount of time and to work on a creative project. Now for me, this was a part of building trust with myself, is that I would start projects and not finish them. And I was like, okay, we need to finish something, or otherwise we're just somebody that starts a bunch of projects and we never execute them. And being more creative can help you build your confidence. It's gonna help challenge you so you can learn something new. Be bad at something, be a beginner, be silly, feel weird, but have fun. That's what creativity is supposed to be. Habit number 6 is tidying your space. Build a daily habit where you can declutter and reset your space every single night, because a cluttered space equals a cluttered mind. And I know for a fact that if you have so much clutter around, you're not going to prioritize your goals, your creativity, your habits, because your brain is going to be like, oh, well, I have to fold the laundry before I can start on that. Oh, I have to do the dishes before I can start on that habit. Oh, maybe I should do this before. And you're just going to use the clutter in your space as an excuse. So personally for me, what I started doing were 5-minute tidies. I would set a 5-minute timer and just tidy the room that I'm in. And you would be surprised how much you can get done in 5 minutes. Usually though, is that after the 5-minute timer goes, you still are already in the groove, so you'll finish what you're doing even if that takes another 10 minutes, maybe another 15 minutes. But you feel accomplished, and the timer kind of makes it fun and like a game almost, so that you get started. You break the barrier of thinking about doing something and to actually doing it by gamifying it. So habit number 7 is journaling. I wrote 1 page in my journal every single day. And this is a space where you have to stop policing your own thoughts while you're writing in a personal journal. You just want to brain dump, like subconscious, just write whatever words, whatever thoughts, wants, wishes, dreams down onto the page. Sometimes I would catch myself wanting to be proper or not write certain things, because if I write it down, then that might make it real. Putting parameters on a journal that's supposed to genuinely just be anything you want. And I also find that it can be overwhelming. As somebody who overthinks a lot, I procrastinate, I overthink, I plan, and it really wasn't until this year that I executed on my plans, where I showed myself that I can show up. And I found that writing really helped me get all of that stuff out of my head. And I even went back and I looked at some of my old journal entries, and it's like, wow, I've come a long way. And that's another great thing about journaling, is that you can look at where you started the year to where you've ended the year and just see how much has shifted. Your perspective, your ideas, your dreams even might have changed. As somebody who's multi-passionate, I tend to have like shiny object syndrome, where like something new will pop up and it's like, oh, I have to sit down, I have to plan that, I need to that be the focus of my life right now. That's the new thing I'm focusing on. And journaling has allowed me to explore those ideas and really write them out, but then dive into what it is. Is it a distraction? Most times it is, because either something else was uncomfortable and I was avoiding it. So then I would go over here and be like, oh, I want to start this, I want to do this, I need to plan this. But journaling allowed me to process those things and be like, okay, if I still want to do this idea in a week, then we can start thinking about it. But let's focus on the things that we have in place, that we are doing, that we are progressing on. Let's keep focus there. Habit number 8 is reading to learn. And I've used reading as an escape all through my teenage years. Not so much in my early 20s when I was in university, but afterwards, definitely I read to escape. Now, recently this year, I was like, you know what? We need to read to learn something, okay? We need to actually understand what we're reading, and on topics that intrigue me. And so I've read quite a few self-help books this year just to get perspective shifts and to connect with my creativity. And so reading more books that are educational or self-help, nonfiction, I guess, will challenge your perspectives and help you learn new things. And that is the biggest part. If you are somebody who feels stuck constantly, like every 2 months you want to replan your life, it is because you're not putting new things in your day-to-day, in your path, in order to challenge yourself. It's just the same thing over and over again. It's like you're running on a hamster wheel, you're not getting anywhere. And so putting things in where you get to read, maybe you can even watch, like video essays are great if reading isn't your thing and you want to either listen to somebody talk. Audiobooks are great. It can be very easy to fall into that daily monotony and then never really challenge yourself on new perspectives or learning new things or understanding a concept or diving deeper into the surface level understanding you already have. So this habit can be reading for you could do 10 pages, you could do 15 to 20 minutes, and once you finish reading, I do recommend either jotting down on a piece of paper what you read so that you can really make sure you understand it, but then also maybe come back to those notes. I personally, in some of the self-help books I've read this year, I would just read to like get the habit done when I had to actually wait, why am I reading? What am I taking away from this? What did I learn in this section? And that is when it started clicking for me, and those concepts, those ideas, those themes would start like solidifying, and I'd be like, okay, I understand what's going on here. This is how I can apply it to my life. I like this perspective, I don't like this perspective. Now, remember, starting new habits, it can be overwhelming, and if you're a procrastinator or you're all or nothing person, so you feel like you have to be absolutely perfect, you need to do all 8 of these habits right now, or else everything is going to fail. That can be a lot. And the reason why I succeeded in my 75 medium challenge was because I calculated how long it would take me to do the habits I wanted to, which totaled 2 hours and 55 minutes per day. Because I remember sitting at my desk being like, we are making another plan for another fitness goal, for another creative goal, and we haven't stuck to anything before. Why now? And I was so frustrated with myself because it was like, this plan's going nowhere. I literally was like, why am I making a new plan if I never stick to it? And so then I asked myself, can I do this? I looked at all the things that I wanted to get done and I was like, can I do this? And the perspective shift that I needed was to calculate how long it would take me. For my 75 medium challenge, I did a 45-minute creative session, a 45-minute workout. I did 7,000 steps, which I calculated as like an hour and 10 minutes, which is quite a bit. And that wasn't set in stone because if I walked faster, I would get that done sooner. But I wanted to budget myself a lot of time to get my steps in. I did 10 minutes of reading, and then I did a progress picture every single morning, which was about 5 minutes of my time. That in total came to 2 hours and 55 minutes. And so I asked myself, I looked in the mirror and I was like, do I have roughly 3 hours to allocate to this? And the answer was a resounding yes. That perspective shift allowed me to be like, okay, we're cutting 3 hours out of our life to show up for these things, because these are going to lead to the goals that I want to accomplish. And once I hit those goals, it's going to get me that much closer to my dream life. So we talked about your time management and how to shift your perspective and a tool to use. We have 8 habits. I want you to pick 3. Now, here's the action plan, because writing a list of habits down is great, but you have to take action. So in order to change your habits, you have to audit your time. Where is your time going, and how long is it going to take for you to do the habits that you want? Once you have the habits that you want to accomplish, how long it's going to take them, and you've audited your time so you know roughly when I'm going to do these habits potentially in the morning and these ones in the evening, and you might have to swap them around depending on the week in your life, because life comes up, things happen. You will have to be agile and adaptive. That's a wrap on today's video. If you are concerned with still not being consistent enough to show up for your habits, I do recommend this video on how to stay consistent with your new habits and routines. You can also check out the blog, which also covers a bunch of new habits and business ideas, all things creative. But that is everything that I have for you today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!